Welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Canine Conversations with Laurie and Maria.
Cheers.
We are joining you from a front of our beautiful, cozy indoor fireplace.
Yay.
It's very cold outside here in central Pennsylvania, so we are joining you today from inside with our doggies.
Thank you, Pino.
And Pino is here with us. You can't, there she is.
No, there she is.
You can see her nose.
I'm just going to put my wine down
She is
so
here
she
with
doesn't
us, yes.
spill my
Yes.
wine.
So,
She has to be in camera.
oh, she wants to say hello.
Yeah.
So we are here to talk today about something we all go through all the time in our lives, and that is change. And specifically, change that impacts our dogs. So when we talk about the big changes, you think of a lot of different things, right? Pregnancy, moving, getting new roommates, whatever it might be. We're going to focus on 2 or 3 big changes. The top one I want to bring up is something Maria is going through right now. And
Right
that
now.
is selling your home and moving to a new place. And right now you're going through the selling process, which involves showing your home and people coming in and having to stage your home. Let's talk about that. How is it impacting not just you and probably making you drink more wine,
Of course.
but also how is it impacting your dogs?
So even as a trainer, I didn't quite realize how much it would impact the dog. So when you're going through the home selling process, or even just renting a place and moving to another place, when you start to make changes, the dogs don't get it. They don't understand it. One of the big things with Pino is we had her crate in our laundry room, and we've lived with that crate up for 20 years.
Yeah.
Right?
With various
Four
dogs.
4 years with her, but various dogs had crates in there. So we never even thought about it. And when our realtor came through and he said, hey, we need to make this room a little bit bigger. Can you get rid of the crate? I thought, well, you know what? Yeah, we can, because she only really uses it at night, and sometimes she doesn't even go in it. She's just a really good dog, so I don't have to use it as much with her. So the first night we took it down, and it looked great. I was so excited about the room. It was so big. I was like, oh my gosh, we have so much room out there. So I was super excited. I went to bed, and Pino was beside herself, because every night she would look for her crate.
Yeah.
And she just, for probably a week, she didn't know what to do. And I finally, we put it back up, because we weren't getting a lot of showings at that moment, put it back up, and she immediately went in it. So it was such a big deal to her. But also what we've been going through is when we get a showing request, we have to get the house straightened up.
Yep.
We got to get the dogs out. So we're folding blankets and we're putting stuff away, and the dogs are like, what is going on? Now my dogs are like, oh.
Again.
I know what's going on now, right?
Because now it's been 4 or 5 weeks of this, right?
Right. So every showing that we get, we fold the blankets up, we put the TV trays away, like all that stuff. If you're trying to buy my house, now you know what I'm going through. But if you're not, then, well,
You should
you're
be.
probably going
You should
through it.
be.
You should buy my house. Anyway, but what we don't understand is that dogs, again, we've talked about trust and routine. So when dogs have trust in a certain routine, that's what they know, right?
They rely on their routine so much more than we give them credit for.
Oh,
right.
for
I mean,
sure.
I think humans are very routine based.
Yes.
But not to the degree that dogs are.
Right.
And we don't always.
It's reliable for them.
Yes.
It
Yes.
gives them, we go back to trust. It gives them a way to, hi, Buka.
Yeah. So what are you doing to try to make it easier for them, to help them understand this process?
I think for me, they're starting to understand it. Moving is hard. And especially showing your house.
And it's
'Cause
stressful.
it goes back to normal, and then it doesn't. And then it
Yes.
goes back to normal, and then it doesn't. So it's very, very more difficult. So we've been trying to just give them a little bit more enrichment activities, trying to kind of give them a little bit more love, and just, you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
And when we go out, we try to go out to Lowe's, and we try to go out to Tractor Supply, and we try to go out to these fun places. And Buka, actually, the old guy, head of HR, he's the guy that, like, he gets in the car and he's like, where are we going?
Yeah, he
Where
gets
we going?
excited.
He's getting excited. Peanut's like, I don't like any of this.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just a matter of kind of figuring out what works for them, and I think just giving them reassurance and take treats with you and just make it a positive experience.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, just make it a positive experience. Because when I come home and I put that blanket back on that sofa, they're like, yay!
Yeah.
And they're back on that sofa.
And you want to try to keep their routine as normal as you can.
Right.
But going through, we're all going to go through change in our lives, right? So, but going through moving, whether you're moving to a new home or an apartment or whatever it may be, you're going to go through the same process. So let's take a different spin and talk about another big change, which would be having a baby.
Yes.
Okay. So as a trainer, have you had a client that was going through this and wanted your help?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
So one of the things you have to remember when you're having a baby is immediately, and I have several right now that are going through this, immediately your smell changes.
Interesting.
Your body changes.
Yeah.
So the body chemicals, like dogs are really scent prone. So your body's changing. And so when your dog is a little more clingy, they're starting to understand something's different. Not that something's bad, but something's different. So your body's changing. Your shape is changing. You know, you're bringing in a crib. You're bringing in a bassinet. And one of the things that I tell people all the time is as soon as you get that, put it up. Put it up.
So they get used to seeing it and smelling it.
Right. I've done walks with clients before with an empty baby carriage. And we just walk. And we walk with the dog next to the carriage so the dog gets used to it, because the dog is used to being like number one.
Yeah.
And if this is your first child, second, third, maybe it's a little different, but the first child, when you're bringing all this equipment in and you're exposing the child to, or the child, yeah, there are children, but you're exposing the dog to new things. Everything new is different. Everything new upsets their world, you know? So we walk with baby carriages, and sometimes we'll put the crib up and I'll say, just go sit in the room with the dog. Just get them used to that thing.
Right.
You know, take the car seat, put it in the middle of the room and just act normal. It's just another piece of furniture.
Yep. Just a new piece of equipment that's coming in the door.
Right.
So what happens when the baby actually arrives?
So a lot of times dogs are very mothering. You know, if we've introduced the equipment, the baby isn't the issue.
Okay.
For most dogs. There's some crying. There's some videos that you can put on TV so they get used to that, hearing
that's a good
that.
idea, yeah.
You know, they get used to hearing a baby crying. You can keep powder around so they get used to the new smell. Maybe put some cream, like some baby butt cream on your finger. Get some diapers out, let them smell those. All those things are different. So all those things can be kind of prepped for.
Yeah.
When the baby comes, you know, just make time for the dog as well.
Yeah.
When the baby naps, take the dog for a walk. As long as you've got someone to watch the baby.
Right.
Obviously, we don't leave the baby home. But you know what? When you can get some quiet time with your dog, do that, because that's what they're used to.
Right.
You know, so when the baby comes, it's different. Now, the babies are going to go through different phases, just like puppies do. You know, they're puppies and they're adolescents, and then they're, you know, and then they grow into adulthood. Babies take a little bit more time with that, but they still go through the same phase. So they go through, I have a baby in a carrier, and I put the baby down.
Right.
Not really moving, maybe cooing and cawing, but not really moving. Then all of a sudden, your baby's now crawling. Now it's change again. We have to remember that. It's not just a baby, it's the change. Right? So the baby's now crawling, and the dog's like, what is going on? Why are you not in that chair?
True. Then they become toddlers.
And then they're walking.
And they're running around.
And they're screaming, and their hands are up.
And some dogs have issues with
children in
just the running, the screaming, the motion. So, you know, and that would be if you adopt a dog after your child is a little bit older.
Right.
So that's a whole other change that we're not going to talk about today.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
So let's talk real quick about one more thing that we had discussed, and that is if you have a roommate situation. So you've got maybe you've got a boyfriend moving in, a girlfriend moving in, or out. Could be out. Yeah. or you have a roommate, or you're changing roommates, or you've never had a roommate and you're bringing one in. So any of those scenarios could be an adjustment if you have a dog in the house.
Right.
So how would you help your dog get used to that? That might be a little bit easier than bringing in a baby.
It probably is.
Yeah, depending.
Chances are pretty good you know that person. So
Hopefully.
chances are,
Hopefully.
but sometimes maybe not.
Yeah.
If you move to a new city and you've got, you need a roommate, you put an ad in.
Yeah, that's true.
You interview the person and they seem great, and then all of a sudden they come in and the dog's like, whoa, I don't like you.
Have you watched Single White Female? That's a movie from a long time ago. Single White Female.
Not.
I'm aging myself, but basically she's crazy. She's crazy.
Okay. So do not get a roommate that's a single white female, I guess is what she's saying. I don't know.
You'll go watch the movie first.
Yeah, watch the movie first. But again, let's just go back to the basic premises is it's new.
Yeah.
So someone, especially if you don't know them, someone may not be a super fan of dogs. They're like, yeah, I'm fine. But then they get in the house and maybe they're not super fans of dogs, especially really needy ones like this one.
Or ones that shed all over their clothes.
Or ones
they might
that
get
shed,
upset.
like this one. But if you know the person, again, the best thing to do is prep your dog for it.
Yeah.
Have them come over. Have them, come into the house, sit with the dog, talk with the dog, play with the dog, train the dog, whatever you want to do. But
Treats for the
when
dog.
when the beds come in, new sofas come in.
Yeah.
Like that's all different.
All the new furniture, the boxes, everything that goes along with the move in or the move out.
I mean, my dogs are even weird when I go on vacation.
Yeah, true.
They see,
Yeah.
they see the suitcase come out and they're like,
yes.
wait
Yes.
a minute.
Yep. Yeah,
What
that's
is
that's
happening?
another change
That is another
we
change.
hadn't really talked about, but
Yeah.
that's true because I haven't moved in years, haven't had a baby ever, don't have roommates other than the husband who's been there forever.
Right.
But I go on vacation or go to conferences or whatever, and my dogs get super agitated. Right? They know.
They see
They
it.
know.
They see the suitcase and they start to understand what it
Yeah.
is.
And then they pace and they get upset, and then they know they're going to Playful Pups for boarding. So there are so many different things that happen in life
Right.
that will cause changes,
Yes.
right? Good and bad, and the way we are affected by the change will impact our dogs. So, and that kind of goes to something we've talked about before, which is our personal anxiety or our personal stress
Right.
and how it impacts the dogs.
And I know in my move right now, I have impacted my dogs. And I'm not proud to say that, but I have, because I get really fired up because of my personality. I get really fired up. This has to be there. This has to be there. And my dogs are like, what is happening?
Wait, what's Mom doing?
What's going on?
Yeah.
So I know that my own personal stress, thank God I have a husband who's very calm. So he can kind of balance me out.
Talks you off the ledge.
Yeah, he talks me off the ledge. But, those kind of things matter as well. So the more normalcy we can give,
Yeah, the better.
the whole better it's going to be. And it's not going to be easy. It's not always going to be easy.
Right.
But I think, again, when we expect it, we can plan for it.
Yes, very true. Very true. So, I think, is there anything else? Is there anything you could think of that
There's
would
a
be
ton.
important for people? Well, we could talk for a long time about this.
We could talk a lot about this, but I
Yeah.
think the most important thing is watch for the anxiety, watch for the changes, and be prepared to help your dog through it.
And keep their routine as normal as you possibly
Yes,
can.
that's
May
the
not be
most important
easy.
thing.
May not be easy. And then mind your own stress. Right, and it's a great excuse for us to go for a walk, to do something to
Yes.
relax
It's gonna help us,
ourselves.
too.
Yes, if
Yes.
we relax ourselves, it will benefit our dogs.
Yes,
so
for sure.
yes.
For sure.
All right, so that wraps up another episode of Cocktails and Canine Conversations with Laurie and Maria. Please don't forget to follow us on YouTube and check out our social media pages. We would love to have you as part of our family, and we love sharing cocktails and canine conversations with you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Signing off.